Hello everyone, welcome back to Esoteric Ebb. We're continuing our adventure after we have resolved conflicts between some rather impulsive youths in this city, very politically minded people, and now as Cleric, of course, we're here to make sure that peace is maintained and that we resolve the mystery of the exploding key shop, right? Right now we haven't even got close to it, so that's possibly a problem, especially considering that it's already 7 p.m. here in this city right now at the moment. The spirits or sprites are just wondering about a rather beautiful moment in the life of city. Anyway, we are here right in front of the Ascani Ridge Trading Company with signature Freestrider logo. I guess we're gonna try entering. I don't know if they are operating at this hour, but it's always cool to see. We're closed for today. Oh, so it's not even about the hour, it's more about the occurrences that are happening today in the city. Well, good to know. I'm still gonna try to enter, though. Like, they cannot stop me, I assume. I'll come back tomorrow, I guess. Okay, since that's not gonna be working for us, we're just gonna go up the stairs and see if there's anything interesting happening around the city. There are several places of interest, and I wonder if I can just fish out those coins from the fountain, and if that's not gonna make someone angry with me, or at least look at me with pity in their eyes. Let's try some coins. Wishes never granted. Can I just take them? It's 18 crowns. No one's saying anything, so that's good. I guess at this hour no one's gonna be paying attention to lonely. I mean, it's not so lonely anymore. We have Snell with us, but wandering nonetheless. Cleric. There's this beautiful beast right next to the fountain, and I wonder if we can talk with that beast or whether we need a spell. We do have speak with animals though, so let's try if we can talk without that. Beware those fangs, and the rest too. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's engage with it. It's a griffon. Yeah, I should have said that. Like, it's quite visibly a griffon, right? You approach a ball of feathers and wings and really sharp claws. A magnificent creature. Too bad he's clearly overfed. Ah, interesting. But that's charisma saying, so maybe just a snide remark towards a poor animal. This is a griffon. It is somewhat intelligent magical beast. It's a famous beast of Old Diminor as well. Terribly useful mounts used by those with the funds to support their breeding and taming, most famously by the Storm Riders. Interesting. A group of highly skilled Griffon Riders. These days they are employed by several free cities of reeds. Simply cast speak with animals. That should lessen the pain of negotiation. You see a pool of drool forming underneath the open beak of the beast. Oh, wait, isn't that... There's an entrance to the warehouse on the other roof. If you want to get inside, you're going to have to get past this bad boy. Huh. The mythical beast snores gently before you. I don't even want to ask what the plan is here. I have a wisdom roll here, which is rather difficult to pass. Two very dangerous choices as well, which is obviously great. But we can, of course, cast speak with animals, and we're gonna do just that. Your spell causes you to feel lighter for a moment, as if connected with the soaring dreams of the griffin. Then it fades as a deep, growling voice enters your ears. So just casting the spell made it wake up. I guess the spell, had to have some kind of somatic component. Is it somatic? Or vocal? Is it just vocal? I think it's just vocal component. Anyway, we woke up the griffon. You foolish biped. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to talk this way as a griffon the whole time. My throat almost died just by this one line. The griffon gets up from its slumber with a dark groan. How many times must I make it clear? I require rest. Or do you wish to taste my steel? Holy shit, you can talk now. We just freaking cast a spell, Cleric. Good morning, sleepyhead. I don't know if that's not gonna kill us on the spot, but I'm so tempted. Still, it is then. The beast spreads its wings. You may address me as Giorgio Valzantigo. Master Giorgio Valzantigo. Who does this chicken think he is? Wow, this beast lives on a pedestal. Whatever it says, just play along. I mean, it's probably gonna, get us into good graces of that Griffon, so I fail to see why we shouldn't do that. Greetings, Master! Thank you for getting out of the way. Pfft. You're welcome, Biped. Now, I am in a good mood after my nap. Go ahead. Ask me whatever inane questions you might have. How'd you get that name, Giorgio? I don't know if that's necessarily a great name. Probably parents gave it to him, right? Right? You're kind of chunky. No, that's not what we're gonna do. How'd you get that name, Giorgio? My father was Tislamiergi Valzantigo of House Valzantigo. We are bred to be perfect. The griffin growls, leaning his beak in towards your face. Interesting. This griffin must be one of the Vetta dei Re, typical racing breed. A minor but wealthy gnomish settlement east of Norvik, they breed racing griffons whom many journey to see during game season. It is built into the side of a dormant volcano, yet its small fertile valley is free of the curse of the burned coast. I see. So you originate from Vetta dei Re? That is correct. Of course you've heard of my home kingdom. Vidyar is the greatest city on the coast. Short for Vetta dei Re, a small Ascani city-state known for its griffon racing. A real gambling palace if you trust the stories. The gnomes who live there have served my lineage for over a century and a half. Once I finish this obligation in the west, I will return to rule my house once more. Soon enough. Soon enough. Why do you call me Biped? Why? For that is what you are. A two-legged, featherless biped. Do you disagree? No, that is factually correct, actually. I'm not gonna argue about my identity because we are two-legged, featherless biped. That is factually correct. It is, biped. What do you do around here? I handle scouting for the boat bipeds, though they do not hold any interest for my valuable information. Some of the less rugged ones I even move around from time to time. I traveled with one a few days ago, all the way to this strange cold land. In return, I get fed a glorious amount of sustenance. More than you could ever wish for, biped. Noticeable. Who did you fly with here? A biped of your size, approximately. One with a gaudy sense of style. Some type of ground delver of a human, I believe. The type to head deep below and not come back for many, many days. So was it a dwarf then? Because if it was a dwarf, then that's not the same size, even approximately, I guess. It's sad, really, to be a biped like you. We could find its owner below then. And who's your owner? I have no owners, you foolish thing. You need to wrap your mind around a superior being not needing to slave away all day. Learn from me. I would do you good. Got it. What a lovely creature. Did you sleep well? Until you showed up? Yes. I had a dream where I kept smacking bipeds like you around. It was wonderful. I'm not sure. This is not a risky choice. It is not underlined. It seems like we could do it. I guess I'm gonna try. I am a person that's not afraid of dying, I guess. Fed well. Yes, thank you. I am very rich indeed. Oh, for griffons, it's a compliment, I guess. If you say that they are chunky, it means that they are, you know, they have an access to all the riches, meaning food, which is obviously a good thing, right? It makes sense. I mean, being, you know, a little bit to the larger size was perceived in the past, at least in some periods, as the surefire sign of having a lot of wealth. So, possibly also a status symbol. He doesn't see that as an insult. Weird bird. Not so much charisma, actually. You could try to, you know, hold a little learning session with intelligence or wisdom to learn more about that kind of stuff. That's it for now. Thanks. I'm gonna break the spell. The voice disappears from the griffon immediately. Had a good chat? Didn't sound like you were best friends exactly. Wait, what did it sound like to you? You've essentially been squawking for a while now. I would have laughed if the noises coming from that griffin didn't scare the shit out of me. Sounded like you'd be gutted any second. Huh. That sounds scary. Oh well. Sure, let's go before the bird changes his mind. Oh, time to go. Can we, like, move now? He was sleeping and was kind of like... Oh, he was blocking the entrance, actually blocking the entrance there. I see. Well, as long as he is, you know, awakened, I guess I'm gonna use this opportunity to move. And check whatever is here. There's some kind of box. It's full of ruined fizzy drinks. One of them seems fine to drink. Oh. I'm gonna get a Vishka ginger drink. So, what does that exactly do? Grants a minor constitution increase for a week. I'm immediately consuming it. Like, you know what, guys? I just don't have a scope, right? I don't know how long we'll be here, but I know that the election is coming in less than a week, so I am assuming that, you know, any kind of drinks of that sort, we should just immediately gulp down and just use the benefits that they are giving us. Anyway, there are several things here. The note on this crate is signed, your loyal servant, Agent Vera. Oh, we've kinda got familiarized with that one. Get this into the warehouse by tomorrow, or I will hold you personally responsible, Godfred. Okay, can we go down there? The door down there leads to the warehouse. Only free striders and guild workers are allowed in. We are not a free strider, so I am assuming we don't have an access. But, oh, so thanks to the fact that we've used the potion, not the potion, the spell. Oh, the griffin is not here anymore. It fly away. I'm so sad. I wanted this griffin to stay here and, like, chat with him. Or maybe it's just too late for him. Maybe just... Wait, there was something here. There was, like, a question mark. One of many free strider compounds in the city. Let's see. Maybe the griffin went inside. Totally. Top entrance to the Ascanid trading. Okay, so I'm gonna just enter it. Seems like it's shut for that. So this is part of one building. This is, like, one big building that they are using, those free striders. Those damn free striders. I don't know if they are bad, like, to be honest. So I'm just, like, laughing around. Now I can dismiss the dwarf's architectural genius. Excluding the anti-magic messaging, free striderism comes with great branding. That's, you know, something that is important in any kind of, you know, marketing campaign. Branding is power. Deep groaning, the bell of Waterlane. There is a dwarf right here. It seems rather, I think it's, well, a little bit dirty, right? Maybe just a hardships of the day, as they were kind of, seems like they were working on something here. We're gonna talk with that person. We're gonna behold them first. Oh, there's nothing to behold. That's kind of sad, to be honest. He just gazes across the water. I'm gonna trifle with him first. I want a crowns. I mean, I would want a crowns, but I don't need it right now. We're gonna engage. A cleric? Sorry, I'm busy. Okay, so that was a great chat with that, I think, gentleman. And probably we'll see them soon enough again. It seems like there is gonna be something to do with them, just maybe not now. Let's see what's here. Office of Snur Appledant, PN. PN, what is PN though? There's nothing we can check in regards to that. Intelligence and wisdom are just silent, so... But we can go in, apparently. And this looks like a rather cozy office, it seems. Okay, there's a lot of things here. Children's drawings on the wall. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Kind of vibe. A scholarly commendation of the Ford Nip Commonwealth. Whatever that is. Almost dead, but not yet. I would love to, you know, at least give it some water, but I don't think I can. Several things I can touch here before I wake this dude up. I'm just gonna behold him first. It's SCH Snur Appledant. Let's try our intelligence. That's, well, +4, so at least we're gonna get the fact that he's a halfling, Fortfolk, a scholar, and a gentleman, I'm sure. A scholar of the Ford Nip Commonwealth. A man working out of hole in the wall. That's a beautiful description, honestly. Okay, let's check stuff here. A magical quill and paper is writing something. Can I just take it? It gives +2 intelligence. I am so... I'm gonna take it. Okay, I think it's probably stealing. Like, it's definitely stealing. But +2 intelligence, I just freaking need to have it. Oh, it's gonna be visible. I wonder if he's gonna, like, say something about it. An unseen servant magically attuned to a feather pencil and paper. It will write down everything spoken within 10 feet. Very useful. Jesus Christ, I would love to have that. Like, I mean, actually, and I think about it, we have tools like that, right? AI stuff and everything. Well, I would like one that's magical, not technological, okay? This one is much cooler to me. The content disappears off the page as it writes. That's less fun. The servant can follow commands to write down specific topics, keep the notes in a certain style, or focus on a chosen person's words. These are very common in the halls of the palace, where words can ruin lives or worse, careers. Okay, we're gonna have an advantage against bureaucrats. Fun. But he's not waking up, so that's great. Let's see what's here. Something stuck between the pages. Whatever. Oh, between the pages you have two cardamom streets? Those might be very thick pages. What's a dream patch though? I really need to know. Is it some kind of healing stuff? Can be used to recover 3rd level spell slots. I don't even have that. Although it's amazing that it's basically a band-aid kind of thingy that gives you back the spell slots. Cool, why not? What's here though? Something's at the bottom. Is it coins? I don't want to steal coins though. Like, this is one thing I kind of like limit myself to. I'm not stealing money from people. A magical quill that's probably worth much more than 20 coins, sure, but not money. A collection of books, political mostly. Blech, sadly. You see a collection of books from the philosophy canon, none of which you are really able to understand. Next to them, a line of famous political books: Asgalis Theory, Hedonist, The Dark Book of Shadow, Lexandro, many more. What's Lexandro? Someone your patriarch quotes a lot. His ideas modernized theocracies in reads, reviving them through towards the end of the Arcane era. Well, I am gonna open the Dark Book of Shadow, that's definitely. By the Shadow Lord, by the way. Very on the nose. You pick up the black-covered tome, a faint tingle goes through your gloved hand. That's the most evil book I've ever seen. How'd they even get the cover to be that black? It's like a void. Thicken graphene. That is how they create the darkness on the cover. A memory lingers in this tome. If you open it, you shall recall. Oh, I'm a cleric. I should investigate stuff that seems to be dangerous and stuff, right? It seems to me like that's my kind of purpose, even, right? The text is not dangerous. The pages show but the holy scripture of the Shadow Lord's lost religion, one of eternal servitude and the search for life in death. However, you remember it well. This was the first book you were ordered to study as punishment for your idiotic behavior at the towers. You remember your first journey towards the esoteric. Well, we're gonna try our best to... We need to roll 2 or higher. So, guys, before I click it, do you think I'm gonna fail it? I'm so gonna fail it. Okay, I'm absolutely not gonna fail it. It would be funny if I did though. How liberating it was to know beyond any doubt how much greatness hid within your mind. Blurred faces, hushed whispers, a crowd of thoughtful peers, each snickering about your hand. A raised hand among a crowd of sheep. Patriarch, it's not just a religious text. They stare at you. It's a spell book. Those were the words. Oh, how they laughed. He asked you to prove yourself, so you did. I went up to the Patriarch, I took the Book of Shadow. Yes. Then I... Yes. Memorize Detect Alignment. Ooh, this is a very, very useful spell. It's gonna let us know immediately whether someone is bad or nice, right? Good or evil. You memorize it on the spot. Then you cast that ancient spell, once used by the Death Knights of the Shadow Lord to subjugate and control the minds of his people. A spell that is, despite its first level, not learned by most relics until they grasped the intricacies of higher tier casting. Everyone was left stunned by your excellence. To not only master such a spell, but to do it in seconds instead of days, that moment, it was yours. From that moment you marked your place at the towers as the greatest spellcaster, the greatest talent among them all. However, as always, the weak fear the strong. That moment also began your ostracization. You would never be among them, never have peers. No one would see you in any way as a brother or a comrade. Would be a leader, enemy, obstacle, I would be their end. Jesus Christ. No, we are much more funny guy. We're a funny guy. We are not gonna destroy stuff. We will be the leader, if anything. You are. And you shall continue to be 30 XP. Okay. Your vision is blurry as we gasp for air. It's filled by the pages of that book. It is a good one, despite its religious fervor. As many say, the Shadow Lord was as much an early arcanist as he was the greatest of the walking gods. Walking god, that term is used to describe the divine avatars who rose and fell in and around the divine era. Most major religions on the coast today are built around these figures and their influence can be felt everywhere. Urf was the last known walking god when he faded 27 years ago. Faded is an interesting word to describe that. We're gonna close the book. Can we read some more? Because that was cool and we've actually received something helpful. A spell that's gonna be definitely useful as soon as we memorize it. I mean, not memorize it, but prepare it. We approach the complicated books once more. Memoirs of the Statesman by Nicholas Darrow. Oh, Nicholas Darrow. We could read that just to have something to tell Nicholas when we meet him. And we probably are gonna need any, kind of leverage to help ourselves in that situation. After what we've done to his wife. But whatever. The first few pages are devoted to rambling text about the history of governing, from ancient texts from various beasts of Jor, to gods of the divine era, to several arcanist figures. Darrow then smoothly moves on to conflate their accomplishments with his own. Especially since he also includes an explanation of his lineage, that he is a direct firstborn grandson of Borgo Darrow, the first paladin of Earth. The many pages go on to describe both practical but mostly theoretical methods a statesman should use when dealing with the populace, the bureaucracy, and the ideologies of modern life. Generally, the book has a rather rough tone about democracy. A quote you've heard before from this book pops up towards the end. Those who believe in democracy have a wonderful view of folk, to think them capable of making rational and informed decisions devoid of personal bias and emotional conduct. From what you remember, it caused quite the stir when it came out 2 years ago. Quite anti-democratic. No wonder people were upset to have a magistrate use such terrible language. You recall a rumor about Shield Lord Yarn having hated this book so much during its printing that he personally bought 200 copies only to burn them in his garden. So that actually is, a amazing way to be a hater. And also a little bit probably not efficient, since you're also giving money to the dude, probably. Shield Lord, however, the magistrate, handling industry, armorist, city defenses, mining and refining, as well as resource allocation. Currently held by Eirik Jarl in the North Wall District. Okay. It's probably not true. Probably. We're just gonna get XP for that. No spells or new knowledge about our past. But we can also open a blind manifesto by the hedonist, and that's gonna be a good one, right? The book. The book. Always listen to your hungry stomach, it says with big ugly letters on the first page. You should listen to the book. And the stomach. This wonderful manual. Same as always, the book begins with a tirade about property ownership. Then on the 5th page, you find a diagram showing how to ritualistically summon a demon. Okay, this is quite a turn from whatever it was before. It's incorrect, however, on purpose, supposedly. The purpose is metaphoric criticism of authoritarian governments. The rest is a series of extreme essays on the topics of hedonism, rejection of statehood, free association, maximizing sensation, direct democracy, and reciprocal exchange. It paints up an image of an ideal world where all can live without strife simply through the cooperation and love of all things. Made illegal in many cities after its release in 466 AE, this rambling text has survived for one reason or another. It is the thing that makes you feel good. The text of truth. Look at the chapter of free love. We are flipping through all the weird, books in this episode. You flip to pages 52. You remember it well. It has pictures. Tiny scribbling. Something akin to stick figures positioned in various and wrapped unities. You remember the words well. The guide on how to make ultimate sensations of flesh. Close the book. Reading filth like this will only darken your mind. Ah, intelligence is no fun. Why would you even need intelligence in life? There's no need to it. You can go on by having charisma and, or you can be super strong. You don't need intelligence. Absolutely. The hedonists are back on the shelf, and they will stay there and think about their behavior. We are, however, gonna read The Folk by Lexandro. Lexandro. This was the first book placed in your hands as an Earthfolk recruit. Open it. Sure, we're gonna look inside. It's an old, worn copy of that same text. musings about the divine era of great walking gods and their theocratic states. A history lesson morphing into a series of guidelines how modern leaders, as a response to the drawn-out Coast War, should return to the old. The proven, the organized, the divine. Although written from the perspective of not faith nor service to the holy, but rather that of service to the state, a modern theocratic vision, the nation as an entity not bound by the protection and lifetime of its god. Instead, the nation-state will survive on unifying cultural traits passed down from the god to his people. This, Alexandro writes, will fasten them into the earth, creating firm groundings for the state to exist beyond any others. The later chapter go on to describe his dream of a millennium empire, his grand plan, a nation to survive the passing of eras, a collection of ideas he gathers in this dream, an ideology structured around order without the weakness of monarchy, the chaos of democracy, or the esoteric dependence of a magocracy. The Millennium Empire, the fascist ideal. A fascist is a follower of fascism, which is also an ideology born during the Coast War, formed out of Alexandro's dream of a long-lasting empire born out of the fallen theocracies of Reeds. Fascist, dangerous idea. Fascist has led many cities astray in Reeds. I'm just gonna immediately choose this one. For reasons that are well known, I think. Whatever your thoughts are, this book is used to reshape the city. You know well how effective it is. Just remember, it was written by a gnome. It was... What? Alexandro was a gnome. He tried using the so-called Fasci di Condottieri, the great mercenary warlords of Old Demeanor, to bring order to the neglected parts of the band. He was, however, ultimately destroyed by the same warlords he created when his followers failed in their coup of Savalny. The third biggest free city in Reeds, known for their divine roots, naval expertise, and vineyards. One of the few cities that retained a religious base during the Arcane era. Let me just fix my microphone a little bit so it's a little bit closer. Ironically, the responsible squad reportedly did not realize who they had killed at first. They had simply been hunting down any non-humans in the city. Great. Not racist at all. Not a problem at all, huh? Jesus Christ. This was not openly spoken about during your training, but yes, it is true. Something to ponder. His followers misunderstood his message then. That is indeed very ironic. Indeed it is. We're gonna put the book away. That's enough. I'm done here actually with those books. That's too much reading for one day for the tiny brain that we have. We need to move on. We need to maybe... I'm still wondering if I should wake this guy up with the quill out, but we'll see. Schnur Appleton, sure. Okay, let's engage. You take a step into the cramped office. Actually, we have already, kind of wandered around the whole office, but sure. Standing in front of a sleeping halfling. This is a scholar. Curse the gods. Go investigate his book collection before waking the lazy halfling. We did that already. Good fortune, citizen! Oh, he mutters and widens his bushy eyes. His confused gaze focuses on you. Life is pain. I'm gonna glare at him. This is a good response to people talking to me. We've already tested that, method of communication, and it does really bring about good results. Terrible, terrible pain. He mutters and rubs his face. The wrinkles fold over one another like waves on a storied sea. Are you? He looks at you with his wary expression, then he rubs his nose and sniffs twice. Are you here for the invoice? A quick glance to Snell. His words come out in a typical Fordnip accent. What? The invoice! I don't have an invoice, not for you at the least. Lean over to Snell. Should I have an invoice? No. No? No? Oh. Oh, hold on. I almost freaking died right now by just as I was taking my breath. That's kind of weird. The invoices have that effect on me, I suppose. I've already paid that invoice. You're here for something different. He leans in, facing Snell. I hope Queen Goblin has no quarrel with this old scholar? He holds up a palm. Nah, we're here on a city business. Yeah, I've got some questions about the tea shop mostly. I'm exploring random buildings and yours was unlocked. That's not... So you're a trespasser of benevolent intent? I guess that's not that far off. Curiosity is absolutely vital for keeping the old brain in motion, so I commend you, Cleric. And you as well, my goblin friend. He looks around, grunting. Can I get either of you some fucking water, or... What the hell was that? He just randomly got so insultive for some reason. He wields swear words like coastal winds. This halfling is wild, in a fun way. Oh, thank you, your companion replies very quickly. You're a scholar you're Scholar Appledent, right? Me? Yes. I'm Snur Appledent, he says, and bows his head in the chair. Scholar of Fort Nib University, in dedicated service to the progress of AIS. But what exactly do you do? Many things. Primarily, my expertise lands on the topic of alignment and its many historical and contemporary applications. Some bullshit, I will tell you. These days, I mostly deal with other forms of study. Specifically, I run this office here on the experimental technique of psychoanalysis. What kind of magic is that? No magic at all. Although there has been some detect thoughts involved at some points in the development. It is a form of mind healing, as they call it. I'll be one to call it support instead. It is essentially the idea that the mental present is shaped by the mental past, and that through dialogue or our unreleased unconscious ghosts can be vanquished. So it's talking about feelings. I know, truly horrifying. A recent friend of mine once told me this joke, and I apologize if it is too vulgar for your taste, but he sputters out the word through little chortles. Listen to the vulgar joke. Definitely we're gonna listen. It's gonna be vulgar, and I'm gonna be sad about it, but... Right. A cleric, an arcanist, and a rogue delve into the lair of a succubus. The fiend defeats all three men, throwing them in her dungeon. But she grows to fancy them, so she offers them a choice. For each man who can successfully satisfy her, she will let that man go. Otherwise, he speaks with little fits of laughter in between, she ends them, so to say. That is going to be a long tale. You actually haven't heard this one. Ha 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 ha! A succubus, such a fiend, would never offer such terms to mortal men. What a rambunctious tale! Do go on! So, the three adventurers debate in which order to go. Eventually, the rogue and arcanist decide the cleric should go first, as he is a virgin and will be least likely to increase her standards. That's very mean to the cleric folk all over the world. Your goblin companion rubs his eyes as he listens to the joke. The cleric, being divine and so on, prays to his god, and he goes to the fiend's bedchambers. He comes out 10 minutes later, completely unharmed, and gives a thumbs up to his two friends, who, of course, both feel a great sense of relief. The arcanist goes in next, confident and arrogant. If the cleric could do it, the fiend must be easy. Within minutes, his bones roll out of the bedchamber entrance, the man having been incinerated by hellish flames. The rogue is horrified, but realizes, obviously, the arcanist overestimated his abilities. So he carefully enters the bedchamber, ready to put every ounce of effort into it. Less than a minute later, screams erupt from the bedchamber, and the rogue's lifeless corpse falls out of the entrance. The cleric prays for the souls of his comrades, and gathers their remains for burial. The succubus steps out, smoking a cigarette. She tells the cleric, "My, your friends were truly terrible. They were just fumbling about down there. At least you managed to touch it a little." To which the cleric responds, "You are truly an awful creature, and I will pray for your presence to be exorcised from this plane of existence every day until the day I die." Then, before he walks away, the cleric also adds, "Oh, but I did heal that horrible wound you had between your legs. Hopefully that makes you less evil in the future." Jesus Christ. What a fucking joke this was. What a journey. The goblin lets out a slight gust of wind through his nose. Laugh hard, I get it. The halfling chortles loudly as well. Well, wasn't that a treat, right? Oh my god, I will not forget this joke for a bit at the very least. My kind of humor, you might say. In short, you can viewed as succubus as an evil in the world which religious fervor would pray to repair. However, such reparation could often lead to a not-so-optimal path. He keeps on laughing. Or more simply, you could say it's a basic allegory for alignment itself. The cleric meant well for all intents, but his actions cost the lives of both his comrades. Is that evil, or is it good? And so on. Either way, psychoanalysis. Yes, that's what we were talking about. It's about your feelings, thoughts, memories, choices you've made, things that have happened to you. They can bog you down, so to say. And the goal in my clinical practice is to root that out in my patients' minds and help make them aware of repressed negative baggage, if you will, so one can move forward more speedily. Sounds like removing a curse of the mind. In a metaphorical sense, yes. But it's not the only thing I work on here. I am currently exploring the dream of anima animus. That's something to do with masculinity and femininity based on CVDX ideas. Is that Freud? That's Freud, right? Am I super, like, slow to realize it right now that this is Freud? This is Freud. Just the version, the fantasy version of Freud. He's very, very polite. Unless he's actually swearing at the moment. A dream of man and a woman. What the pervert? You like this guy. So, you dream about men and women. Sometimes. But the dream is just a concept of understanding gender ideologues. I don't know this word, I'm sorry. Beyond that, I also focus a lot on my own unverified theories. He slaps his knees and grins. The folk spirit. Have you heard of it? No, I have not. Understandable, it's not yet published. The folk spirit is the working title for my new thesis. I kind of feel like this voice is kind of getting away from me. It's just evolving into some weird... It was already a parody, but it's also now it's a parody of his own. Most of it is, if you excuse my annuran, fucking bullshit. But in short, it is about how each folk share a number of core communal archetypes or myths. I've traveled around the coast to collect as many tales, writing down thousands of stories previously only passed down orally. All to see how well my theory holds up in the minds of so many folk. He clears his throat and leans back into his chair. Apologies, I'm ranting here. Let us put that to stop. What do you want, Cleric? Oh my god. What is love? Jesus. I really hoped he would say baby don't hurt me, but apparently no. Love! He lets out a frustrated groan. Pure calamity! Deadly and destructive, its nature is just perverted and foul. Because it is a complete surrender, without idealization. To love is to accept, without proof or demands or conditions, this complete surrender to another. Ridiculously risky. This guy's more fucked up than you are. I kind of start to notice that now. Do you... not that voice. Do you... just a normal voice right now. Yeah, fuck love! So I shouldn't love? Let's be that innocent, really, you know, not knowing much cleric. He shrugs. If you can, yes. Of course you should not take such a risky bet. And he takes a breath, calming himself down for the punchline. Love is a completely unpredictable and dangerous encounter. And I have yet to meet a sentient folk which is not afflicted by it. And interestingly enough, I see no difference. It is universal. Elf love, halfling love, devil love. True love is always irrational. It is finding the perfect inside of the imperfect. And falling entirely into it, swallowed by it. Some folk might act it out in different ways depending on their communal nature or biological urges. But if you're one of the few who do not need it, good. Be happy. If you're not, then good luck, and may the God bless your soul. Jesus Christ, this little gnome psychoanalyst is really a trove of treasures in regards to like thoughts and ideas and the way he talks. I'm not necessarily agreeing with that, but I can see, you know, the inherent funniness of it all. Anyway, my friends, we are gonna actually stop here before we get this gnome going with all his ideas, and in the next episode we are gonna explore all these options that we have here. So there's much to be learned from this, I forgot his name to be honest, this gentleman. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed your time with me. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel, that would mean a lot to me. and we will hear each other very soon in the next episode. Take care and cheers!